Okay, so now we're on to part two. You remember little Blanky or Moo Moo or whatever you're going to call it. My daughter had a bunny. He's still around. He's a person. Anyway, once your baby is adjusted to getting that sort of going to sleep conditioning with the blanket, you look at your routine that leads up to going to sleep at the beginning of the night. And whatever it is, let's just take an example that you have up until now nursed your baby to sleep or had the baby fall asleep on a bottle. Do that, but stop it a few minutes before your baby is asleep, when they're drowsy but not asleep yet, and introduce something new, very short, very soothing. It would be something like putting them on your shoulder to burp them, giving them the blankie, changing a diaper, singing a song, short song, every day the exact same song. Don't make any variation because it's part of the conditioning. And then putting them in the crib with the blankie and telling them that it's time to go to sleep. Most babies who are used to falling asleep on your body will not be happy with the new regime and will protest, and that's fine. You stand right next to the crib or sit next to it and you just say very soothingly, everything is fine, it's time to go to sleep, or something of that sort. But again, pretty much the same phrase every day. And take turns with your partner, because this is very hard. So whoever is if you have a partner, if you don't have a partner, if there's somebody else close to the baby, bring them in for a couple of days to help you. And take turns just sitting there and saying, everything is fine, go to sleep. If that doesn't work for, let's say, 10 minutes or so, then you can do a little more, which might be to either put your hand on your baby's tummy and jiggle them, or hold their hand, or sometimes it actually works better to jiggle the whole crib, because a lot of babies respond to that kind of movement, especially if you've been using a swing. And keep talking, keep saying the same phrase over and over together with the touching. If that doesn't work for 10 minutes or so, then you can pick up the baby, put them on their shoulder, and rock them until the baby starts to calm down, sort of whimpering, and then gets less frantic. The moment that they start to calm down and sort of feel heavy into your chest, you know that they're beginning to get sleepy, put them back in the crib. And the whole story will probably start over again. And this is a sort of yo-yo part of the training, and I've had typically this can take 45 minutes to an hour of up and down, up and down. Each time you go back to square one and just use your voice for a few minutes, then the touch, then the picking up. And I've had a few of the hundreds of parents that I've talked with have taken 2 hours on the first night, and the parents were devastated, and the baby was perfectly fine the next day. No complaints. And then by the third night, if not by the second night, it'll be considerably less. And usually it takes a week, sometimes 10 days with more determined babies to get to where you put them in the crib. They might fuss for a few minutes, you give them the blankie, and they fall asleep on their own in the crib. And now you've built block number 2 towards at the point at which they're ready, which will be later on when they're about 7 months old and at least 14 pounds, to do the same thing in the middle of the night and eliminate nursing or feeding in the middle of the night and gradually train them to sleep through the whole night.